Shame on you.
Angela Rye in Washington, did he strike a chord there?
Strike what kind of chord, Jim?
Well, he's basically saying she's attacking his supporters as opposed to the candidate.
So I think, this campaign is maddening to me because we're constantly chasing Donald Trump and his supporters and his spokespeople and his surrogates down some crazy rabbit hole. Donald Trump also in this speech just moments ago called Hillary Clinton a race baiter. He's telling her shame on her when he should be looking at himself and saying shame on me. Shame on Donald Trump. Shame on Donald Trump for having an advisor like Roger Stone who called pundits on this network Negroes. Shame on Donald Trump for having Jeff Sessions by his side at his event in Jackson, Mississippi yesterday, who's a noted person who's had struggles with racist comments with his former employees. Shame on Donald Trump for hiring the Breitbart, the king of Breitbart, to be his new campaign chairperson. Shame on him. And shame on every spokesperson that continues to make any type of analogy, draw any type of analogy to Donald Trump, the nightmare, to Martin Luther King, who had a dream. Shame on that.
Katrina Pearson, national spokeswoman for the Trump campaign.
You know, I'm just looking forward to CNN doing a full-blown study on Hillary Clinton's campaign operatives like John Podesta and Uma Abedin. So I'll be looking forward to that. But I'll also say that this is a very interesting discussion because we do finally have a candidate who is out there saying what a lot of people think and what a lot of people feel. However, when he calls Hillary Clinton a bigot, what is a bigot? A bigot is someone who's intolerant of someone else's views. It is Hillary Clinton and the Democrat supporters who are burning the American flag, who are assaulting supporters, who are doing all kinds of horrible things, okay? All kinds of horrible things. And so he's absolutely right.
I don't know what you're talking about. What I know is the definition.
You don't want to let me finish because you don't want to hear what I have to say.
I heard what you had to say, that Hillary Clinton supporters are burning American flags. I don't know what you're talking about. No. But I do know.
CNN doesn't show that footage.
What I do know is that calling Hillary Clinton is a bigot is ridiculous to me because Angela's absolutely right. The fact of the matter is that this man, throughout the course of his business career and public career, has maligned communities of color and dug his heels in deeper during the course of this campaign. He is not speaking to African Americans because he's really interested in their engagement. He doesn't have a real clear policy on immigration. We're 76 days out, and his immigration policy is to be determined.
There's a lot to say here, and because Basil raised immigration, and that was the point of the story here, I do want to play for our viewers again Donald Trump's, shall we say, evolving position on immigration. Here, listen to his comments on undocumented immigrants November 10th last year.
You're going to have to send people out. Look, we're a country of laws. We either have a country or we don't have a country. We are a country of laws. Going to have to go out, and they'll come back, but they're going to have to go out, and hopefully they get back. But we have no choice if we're going to run our country properly and if we're going to be a country.
They're going to have to go out. Now, here's Donald Trump last night.
Everyone agree with that? All right.
Let me go a step further. They'll pay back taxes. They have to pay taxes. There's no amnesty as such. There's no amnesty.
Right.
But we work with them.
Kelly McEnany, why isn't that a flip-flop?
Well, first of all, he himself described this as a softening the night previous.
Well, it's more than a softening, though, to be fair, is it?
He said that he's listening to voters, and we're going to have to wait to hear his speech, but he's listening to voters, and I think that's a good thing. But I have to bring up something Angela said, because she talked about rabbit holes, and she also described Hillary Clinton's speech as a perfect speech. You know, I think it's really an insult to the American people to describe a speech that didn't have one policy position as a perfect speech. It was not, in fact, perfect. Donald Trump is trying to be inclusive. Donald Trump brought up energy policy, how it affects the African American community, and immigration. And he has proffered solutions for this community. And I do also, this is the third time it's been said, Martin Luther King was a Christian. Everyone has a right to quote him. No one owns his statements. And trying to bring us together and being more inclusive is what Donald Trump is doing.
One second, Basil, because I want to bring in SE because, in fact, Donald Trump on immigration is actually moving closer to your candidate, Jeb Bush, almost word for word on the policy.
Yeah, allowing undocumented immigrants to remain in the country is the definition of amnesty. And whatever side of that argument you're on, you can't get around the fact that the centerpiece of Donald Trump's campaign has now been abandoned by him saying, no, we're going to let some stay. But let me just, I have to get this out for a history lesson. For anyone who's like in high school watching, I do not want them to go away thinking that the definition of bigotry has anything to do with burning the American flag, which is actually protected under the First Amendment.
Jim.
Another constitutional lesson that we have to teach the Trump people.
Jim, let me say this.
Congressman Kingston, you'll get the final word.
Let me say this about Donald Trump on immigration. Number one, as long as we're talking about it, we are winning because Hillary Clinton is pro-amnesty. She's pro-sanctuary cities. And she's pro-giving American jobs away to illegal workers who are in this country. Donald Trump has talked about consistently enforcing existing laws, building a wall, no amnesty, no sanctuary cities, and protecting American jobs. And the fact that he has taken it on and led with this issue, I think is a very, very positive thing.
If I can say this, and I want to address the point you were starting to make earlier about Martin Luther King. I appreciate that you know the quote. But there are people who are fighting this fight every single day and are burdened with it every single day. And my concern and my point, which I think is what was so great about Hillary's speech and what has turned me off and I think should turn a lot of people off about Donald Trump, is that he has never taken the opportunity to truly understand what that means for a person of color.
He had a rap
He has not been able to do that.
I am one of those people, too, that have been in that fight for a very long time. I have been fighting these liberal policies for the black community. He has been listening. He has been out there. And just because CNN doesn't report it doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
And we understand that the Clinton people are scared to death that a candidate is reaching out to the African American community. We understand that
Listen, folks, we're going to have to go. We're going to have to go.
That Hillary Clinton is scared to death.
That's ridiculous.
It's a measure of the spirit of this campaign, but we are going to have to go. Kaylee, Katrina, Basil, Angela Rye, Congressman Kingston, thanks very much. These are difficult issues. We appreciate you sitting down with us. Be sure to tune in to see